Husband invites in-laws to our lake house and they show up. We're extended families and demand free vacation. My husband thought he was being generous, inviting his parents for a quiet weekend at our lake house. But when the doorbell rang, it wasn't just them, it was a caravan of cousins, aunts, uncles, and even a neighbor's dog, all expecting a free vacation. I stood frozen on the porch, my coffee mug trembling in my hand, as 22 people spilled out of three overstuffed minivans, their laughter drowning out the serene lapping of the lake. This wasn't a family reunion, it was an invasion, and I was the only one who hadn't been briefed. The lake house was our sanctuary, a cedar-walled retreat we'd scrimped and saved for over a decade to buy. Nestled in the pines, with a dock stretching out to crystal waters, it was where Ethan and I escaped the chaos of our city lives, where we'd spent countless evenings dreaming up our future. Ethan, with his warm hazel eyes and knack for seeing the best in everyone, had suggested inviting his parents, Linda and George, for a weekend to reconnect. I'd agreed, picturing cozy dinners and maybe a boat ride. What I didn't picture was Linda announcing, as she hauled a cooler onto my porch, that she'd spread the word to the extended family because the more, the merrier. By noon, the house was a circus. Ethan's cousin Reggie was blasting music from a portable speaker. His kids were cannonballing into the lake, and Aunt Maureen was already complaining about the lack of vegan options in our fridge. I caught Ethan's eye across the crowded living room, my glare screaming, "What have you done?" He shrugged, his sheepish grin only fueling my frustration. "Their family. Claire," he whispered, as if that excused the fact that our peaceful retreat was now a free-for-all. I loved Ethan's optimism, but right now, it felt like a betrayal. The first night was chaos wrapped in noise. The kids turned our guest room into a pillow fort war zone, while Linda and George commandeered our master bedroom, claiming George's back couldn't handle the couch. I slept or tried to on a lumpy air mattress in the laundry room, listening to the neighbor's dog bark at shadows. By morning, I was seething, but Ethan was still playing the gracious host, flipping pancakes for a crowd that didn't even say thank you. I cornered him in the kitchen, my voice low but sharp. "Did you know about this? Did you know they were bringing half the county?" He swore he didn't, but his eyes darted away, and I knew he was hiding something. The truth came out by accident, as truths often do. While cleaning up the mess left by Reggie's kids' crumbs and juice stains on my hardwood floors, I overheard Linda bragging to Maureen about how Ethan had said, "Bring whoever wants to come." My heart sank. Ethan hadn't just failed to warn me. He'd opened the floodgates. When I confronted him, he admitted it, his voice soft with guilt. "I didn't think it'd be this many. Claire, I just wanted to make Mom happy." I wanted to scream, but instead, I walked away, my hands shaking. This wasn't just about a crowded house. It was about boundaries, trust, and whether Ethan valued our marriage as much as his family's approval. The second day tested my patience to its limits. Reggie's wife, Tanya, demanded I drive her to the store for essentials like artisanal cheese and organic kombucha, as if our stocked pantry wasn't good enough. Meanwhile, the kids had taken my kayak without asking, and I found it drifting halfway across the lake. When I asked Linda to rein in the chaos, she laughed it off. "Oh, Claire, loosen up, this is what family's about." I wanted to tell her that family doesn't show up uninvited. Eat your food and trash your home. But I bit my tongue, knowing it'd only make me the villain. That night, as the group planned a bonfire party without consulting us, I reached my breaking point. I found Ethan on the dock, staring at the water, his shoulders slumped. "I messed up," he said before I could speak. "I thought I could make everyone happy, but I didn't think about you." His honesty disarmed me, but it didn't erase the hurt. I told him how violated I felt, how our home, our life had been turned upside down without my consent. He listened, his face etched with regret, and promised to fix it. But how do you fix a family that thinks they're entitled to your space, your time, your everything? The next morning, Ethan took a stand. He gathered everyone in the living room, his voice firm but kind. This was supposed to be a small getaway for my parents, but it's gotten out of hand. Claire and I need our home back. The room erupted in protest. Linda called it ungrateful. Reggie muttered about city snobs, and Tanya accused me of being inhospitable. But Ethan held his ground, and for the first time in days, I felt seen. By noon, the minivans were packed, and the house was quiet again, though the tension lingered like a bruise. We spent the rest of the day cleaning, scrubbing away the evidence of the invasion. As we worked, Ethan opened up about why he'd let this happen. His parents had always guilt-tripped him into being the good son, and he'd struggled to set boundaries. I shared my own fears about losing the life we'd built, about being sidelined in my own marriage. It wasn't an easy conversation, but it was honest, and it reminded me why I loved him. Even when he drove me up the wall. The lake house is ours again, but the experience left scars. I've learned that family isn't just about love, it's about respect. And sometimes that means saying no. Ethan's learning too, and we're working on rebuilding trust, one honest talk at a time. But I can't help wondering, were we wrong to kick them out, or were they wrong to assume they could take over? I'd love to hear your thoughts. What would you have done in our shoes?